Oh my God. Talk about an emotional roller coaster. I thought we were out, then I thought we were through, then I thought we'd thrown it away. And that was just the normal game and extra time, let alone what I've just witnessed is probably the worst penalty shootout in the history of football. But somehow, some way, England progressed to the semi-final of the Women's Euros. And I am, like I say, I'm a whole host of emotions right now. That was absolutely ridiculous, that football match. Incredible entertainment. For those people who say that the women's football can't be as entertaining as the men's, that game was something else. But they've got the job done. Well done, Hannah Hampton. Well done, Lucy Bronze, for getting the crucial one that we scored. But well done, Hampton, for making the save that she made. And obviously Sweden missing 3 penalties. England's penalties we'll get to shortly. But the bottom line is England are into the semi-finals and can defend their Women's European Championship. But that game was not without a lot of concerns, which in my opinion were caused by Sarina Wiegman. And yes, I'm going to have a minor rant at the manager once again, as we always do on this channel, whether it's Manchester United men, or England women. I always have a chance to have a pop at the manager because I think Sarina Wiegman got a lot of decisions wrong today. I think she got a lot of decisions right, in particularly from the 70th minute to the 90th minute. But there are a lot of decisions that were definitely made wrong in that game, which made this a lot harder than it necessarily needed to be for England. Because I said when I did my prediction yesterday morning that on paper England should win this game. On paper England have the better team, they have the better squad, and they should get the result. And I'm obviously over the moon that they have got the result. But there's a couple of things today that really disappointed me. Firstly, the overall attitude of some of those England players. There were players from start to finish that were just not at it in that match. They need to take a long, hard look at themselves. But that's why I also question Sarina Wiegman, firstly for picking some of those players, but also for not taking them off when I feel like she should have taken them off. The main one for me, the one that really stood out for me, or the main two that stood out for me in terms of attitude towards the game itself, were Kira Walsh and Lauren James. Because for the quality of player that they are, obviously after the season that they've had, I expected a lot more from them. I know a lot of Lauren James is certainly one of our star players. We know what she's capable of. She had brilliant moments in this match, but her overall attitude towards the game I thought was very lax, very nonchalant at times, and that was summed up by her penalty when she sort of jogged around the ball and side-footed it straight to Falcon Goal, who's going to be a very devastated goalkeeper tomorrow morning and certainly tonight as well, of course, it has to be said. But I think she sort of made up with it with her moments of brilliance throughout the match. But Kira Walsh, who was probably my player of the tournament for England when we won this competition 3 years ago, looked so far off it, it was unbelievable. Now, I know the Swedes are putting an awful lot of pressure on us, but normally she's the composed player that drops into the little pockets, gets on the ball, plays passes, sort of like Andre Pirlo-esque, but women's football. Like one of those players that can drift around, find the areas that they need to get on the ball. When they get the ball, they play these phenomenal passes. But today, she wasn't moving around, she wasn't getting on the ball. When she got on the ball, she was giving it away. And for a player of that quality, I expected a lot better from her. And that's why I'm disappointed at Sarina Wiegman for not taking her off and putting Grace Clinton on much, much sooner. Or obviously the substitution that she did make, which was take Georgia Stanway off and change the shape, which, again, I will get to shortly. My other disappointment in terms of team selection and Sarina Wiegman is I do not understand the fascination with Jess Carter. I don't think she's good enough. Just flat out, I don't think she's good enough. You look at the performance that Morgan made once she came on. She was absolutely fantastic. We've got one of the young players of the WSL, one of the players of the WSL this season, in Maya Letitia, on the bench, not getting minutes when she would have been so much better suited for dealing with the pace of Black Stenius. But at least she made that decision to take her off and put Morgan on in that second half, because that made a massive difference. And this is where I'll now applaud Sarina Wiegman for a brilliant decision to go to the 3-4-3, or the 3-5-2, should I say. 3 at the back, Bronze at right wing back, Kelly at left wing back, and then the 3 in midfield of Mead, James, and obviously Walsh at the time, and then putting Agyman with Alessia Russo up front together. That change is the reason we are in this semi-final. Forget the penalty shootout, forget anything else that happened. That tactical decision to go to 3-5-2 is the reason we are in this semi-final. Because that decision-making to make those substitutions and change the shape completely changed the game. We were getting overrun in midfield. I was obviously, like I say, being critical of Walsh, but she was getting overrun in midfield as well. And the decision to put that extra body in the middle completely changed the game. Allowed us to start dominating. Allowed the wing-backs to get in more space around the outside. And it was a cross from left wing-back to right wing-back that got us the goal back for 2-1. There was another cross from Chloe Kelly after a brilliant bit of skill. Drop to Mead, drop to Agyman, 2-2. Then the absolute bizarre decision to then revert back to 4-2-3-1 for extra time, putting Russo in at number 10 behind Agyman, rather than sticking with the two up front, which got us into that position. Obviously, Russo had her big chance as well to make it 3-2 in the 90th minute, and I was disappointed that she couldn't pull it off. Equally, she had another basically open goal in the 123rd minute to make it 3-2 before it went to penalties. Bit of a strange night for Russo in front of goal, but I cannot knock her work ethic. She was absolutely outstanding on that front. But at the same time, Beaver Jones, again, one of the young stars of the WSL this season, probably deserved her opportunity off the bench when Russo wasn't really as involved in that extra time period. But overall, they did enough to force extra time. They did enough to force the penalty shootout. And then, like I say, I don't think I've felt so many emotions in a penalty shootout in my life. The penalties that we missed, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves. Every single time, Falk took about 2 steps before diving. The only player that actually watched Falk before shooting was Chloe Kelly, who had recognised after 3 England players missed in a row by just shooting without looking at the goalkeeper, seeing that she's taken 2 steps to the right, missed their penalties. But Chloe Kelly had the composure to actually look and put it in the other corner. Then we missed again. Then they missed again. And then Bronze scored. And then they missed again. Like, oh my God, unbelievable. Hampton only saved 1. She only saved what? Am I right? No, she saved 2. She saved the first one, and then she saved the 6th one. But that 6th one might have even hit the post anyway from Jakobsen. Like, mental. Absolutely mental penalty shootout. But England progress to the semi-final of the Women's Euros to face Italy, a team which I think we should beat. I don't think Italy have been very convincing so far in this tournament. I think England will definitely go in as overwhelming favourites. If we play like we did tonight, though, I do think we're going to struggle. I would really like to see us actually play that 3-5-2 system going into the next game, whether that's playing Russo and Beaver Jones up front together, whether that is starting Agyman, maybe that is taking Toon out of the starting lineup. I think Lauren James was much more effective in the centre on the pitch compared to the outside of the pitch. But again, I do question her attitude. Obviously, there are some injury concerns. Hampton looks like she could have done something to her nose. Williamson's potentially done her ankle. Bronze's hamstring had to be taped up by herself. We've only got 4 days to recover. So, going to be a fascinating run to hopefully another Euros final. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What an unbelievable game of football that was. A great advert for women's football. And I really hope some more of you are going to be watching the semi-final, because we deserve to have our spot here. We've done enough to get past a very, very good Sweden side tonight. Like I say, I feel bad for Falk. Those 3 penalties that she saved in the regulation penalty shootout period to then sky her own penalty, which could have put Sweden into the next round. I do feel sorry for her. But she wasn't the only one that missed. Sweden had 3 players miss the target. England, of course, had several penalties saved. But it was enough. England progress into the semi-finals. Come on, the Lionesses. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.